Hi everybody, it's medium Kristin Davies here. If you ever feel like you want to come and check out my YouTube channel, Kristin Davies, the links are in the description below. Today we're going to talk about, are ETs here on Earth? What are they doing here? And if you can reach them or communicate with them. A lot on this topic, on this plate, isn't it? So in my experience, when I first started channeling, that wasn't the first energy that was coming to me. However, I've seen a lot of people online, and that is the first energy that's coming to you. And a lot of people are very drawn towards extraterrestrials, ETs, UFOs, aliens, whatever you want to call it, star seeds, any information about star seeds. And then some people are drawn towards archangels, some people are drawn towards angels, some ascended masters, and it goes on and on. So where you are drawn is important. Why are you being drawn there? Why is that something that you are fixated upon and energetically pulled towards? So for me, it's always been the angels. My guardian angel, also I would say the archangels and the ascended masters, but I predominantly, a lot of the time, work with the angels, and I've always been drawn in that direction. That's something that I have connected with in order to bring through guidance for people during sessions. However, there are people that are very much drawn towards starseed origins, where are they from, where have they been, and ETs. And if you are one of these individuals, I would say there's a reason why you're being drawn in this direction. You might say that one of the reasons could be that you do have starseed family members with you. So this would be an energy or a fractal of energy that has incarnated with you in other lifetimes. It could be as a sibling, it could be as a parent, it could be as a friend. And what happens is, depending on what we need here on Earth and the moment in which we need it, a starseed family member will step forward and assist us as we incarnate on Earth. So what are they assisting us with? Okay, what are they doing here? Many of the starseed family members that I meet are here helping us with awakening and ascension, lifting and raising our vibrational frequency and helping us further and grow along the path of awakening and ascension. So that's some of the main things that they're helping us with. So you would say, okay, well, where are they? I don't see them. It's a vibrational frequency, it's energy. If they were to just, okay, there you go, right in your room, how many of us would just absolutely panic on planet Earth? Probably quite a few. And I remember in the beginning of channeling, that was the first thing I said to my angels. I said, could you please make sure just not to freak me out, make sure everything's gradual. And that is how it was. I didn't see any ETs in the beginning. I probably only started to see ETs, if you want to call them ETs, we're all ETs, PS. I started seeing them probably, I would say, around 3.5 years ago. So it's not that long. And they would step forward to communicate with the person, letting the person know where they have been and their origins and what they're helping them with, and having just a lovely chat with them. I've had ETs observing me, just observing. So if you ever feel like you're having a visitation or observing you, the first question I have is, were you watching material, a video, or were you reading something where you were learning about grays, for example? And 99% of the time people say yes. It might be something that's on your mind and you're thinking about it, or you're watching material and learning about it. So once you're sending that out and you're fixated on that ET and learning about that ET, everybody knows. Everybody knows. And they then notice you. And they come and visit you. And they may not even have a message for you. They may just be standing there observing you, watching you. Okay. The other thing is, when you awaken and when you start to ascend and when you start to raise in vibrational frequency and your light is quite bright, it's easier to see. It's just easier to notice. And that's not just with ETs, right? We want to make sure that our vibrational frequency is high, because if you drop in frequency and you fixate on the lower vibrational aspects of your reality, okay, then you're a vibrational match for more of low vibrational energy. When you lift and raise in vibrational frequency, you're not a match for that frequency, okay? So it's really, really important. That's like one of the number one things I'll hear the angels say repeatedly. In fact, they may not even bother with you. They're not going to like the energy that's around you or coming through you. They're going to be like, oh God, maybe repulsed by it. And they're certainly not going to come and engage with you. If they do, they're going to notice your backup around you, and they're going to notice your frequency, and they're probably not going to hang around for too long. The only ETs that are allowed in my home are ETs that are there maybe to observe. They're not there to bother me in any way. That would be the only way that Archangel Michael would allow that to happen. So if you guys haven't heard my material before, the number one thing that is being requested of you by Archangel Michael, just like it was requested of me 15 years ago, is just to ask him to move into your home and be your spiritual bouncer. If you're not drawn to Archangel Michael, that's okay. Although that is kind of his thing, right? That's what he does. He oversees everything on earth, and he's good at it. You would then ask maybe Archangel Gabriel or Archangel Raphael. P.S. They're probably going to bring in Michael. So you'll want to just ask Archangel Michael to come in and move into your home, be your spiritual bouncer. So I have had ETs come in and visit me. Not often though. And I do recall them looking over at the corner where I know Archangel Michael is. He likes to hang out near the main entrance to your home. That's where he will be. And I remember this ET looking over there and then just observing me. And I said, what is this ET doing here? And Archangel Michael said, he just notices you. He's just observing. And a lot of different starseed origins have completely different vibrational frequency than here on Earth. If you're one that's always looking up at the stars, you feel like this isn't your home, maybe you just don't want to be here, it's likely because, you had a starseed origin that is vastly different than Earth, and this is a bit of a surprise, or it's a bit too much here on Earth. Also, it could mean that you have starseed family members looking after you and watching over you, and you feel that, and you feel drawn in that direction. And it also it's just an example that your origins are vastly different than Earth. If we were to compare, say, the Pleiadians, to the Greys, totally different in every conceivable way. So the Pleiadians, if that's an origin that you've had, you're going to feel more comfortable here on Earth. You're not going to be like, oh my God, this is too much for me. It's too loud. Emotions are too intense for me. It's just too much here for me. You're too sensitive, right? So as a Pleiadian, you're going to fit in more. You're going to be more relaxed being here. There's some similarities there versus, I've only met to souls that have had gray incarnations. And that was rare, really rare. They were having a bit of a hard time here. Hard time, yeah. And so with that being said, you know, many times it was expressed that, you know, being here is difficult because it's so different. The grays don't have much of any emotional range. The closest emotion you could say a gray has is like curiosity. That's it. They're very intelligent, but there's no, I guess you could say depth or emotional drive, and a lot of the time they're curious and just observing us and, you know, visiting. Also, you know, what are the ETs doing here? That's a great question. Some of them are here visiting us and extracting DNA. That is happening. And I remember asking a lady who was an open medium way long ago when I was 21. I said, why are they doing this? And she said, well, they are making changes to stop them from doing what they're doing. But she said, picture when you expand as a soul and you make it further with your expansion and your growth, you need that range of emotion, and it helps you to grow and evolve. But the grays are more stuck or stagnant, and there's not as much growth. So they can't get to where other souls are going, the expansion and the growth, which is really important. It's the whole point in us coming here, really, is a big school. But what if you can't get ahead like everybody else? So what do? You take the DNA, splice it with your own, and then you're making hybrids, right? And I remember being 21, and I remember thinking, this really resonates with me, because they're not just doing this for no reason. And it's really about progression and growth and getting to higher vibrational dimensions, if you want to say that. If you're like, there's no depth, there's no experiential experience of emotion and feeling, you're really rigid and stuck, you know, in a lot of ways, in a lot of capacities, right? So how can you communicate with them? You just direct it to the Pleiadians if you wish to talk with them, and you can talk out loud, or you can think the thought, or you can write it down on paper. They get it. I know a lot of people are like, no, it's not that easy. It is that easy. It is so that easy. If you think about everything as energy, including your thought forms, and then you're sending it out like a radio broadcast, if you want to call it like that. And then it's very easy for them to tune into that. Very easy. And you look at the Arcturians, for example. They're extremely good at telepathic communication. That's all they do. I mean, I've never seen an Arcturian moving its mouth talking to me. So it's so easy for them to pick up on a message you want to send to them. And like if you want to set some intentions and ask them, you know, to help you with certain things, you can do that. You can ask your spiritual team. You can ask your starseed family members to come and assist you. Okay. So how many different origins does a soul have? This is my experience after the last 3 years of giving over 1,500 readings. The most predominant starseed origins that myself and my friend Ashley Cunningham, she's also a medium, have seen, because I've asked her, I'm like, what are, and she said Arcturians and Pleiadians. I go, that's what I get to. Those seem to be the two dominant lifetimes or experiences or incarnations that a soul has had before coming to Earth. That seems to be the dominant. But there's such a broad array of different ones, like blue avians, and then I've seen other colored avians. I've seen How many different starseed origins are there? Is countless. You can't even put a number on it. The varying different shapes, sizes, colors of vessels. I mean, the different, we have the hybrids. It just goes on and on and on. There isn't a number we could put on it. So a soul, when having these incarnations, if you want to call them, or experiences in different vessels, usually will choose 2 to 7 so far that I've noticed. I've noticed around 2 to 7. And they'll try out this vessel, and maybe that won't be their shtick. They don't enjoy that ride. So they decide to go over here and try the Pleiadians, and then, oh, this is much better. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really going to have a lot of growth, a lot of depth, and this is more my cup of tea. It's more of a vibrational match for my energy. And then they might try something else and then come to Earth. Usually, from what I've noticed, is if a soul has Pleiadian lifetimes, they usually go from Pleiadians straight to Earth. Like, it seems to be a match, obviously. Like, the Pleiadians did help seed the planet. But if you look at somebody that has only had Arcturian lifetimes, only Arcturian, okay? Very much up in the head. They don't eat food like we do. They don't talk like we do. Their vibrational frequency is quite different than ours. And say they only had Arcturian and then they came to Earth. And maybe they're on Earth and they've had several incarnations here, but it's maybe still new to their soul. Some of the characteristics that one would have is being very much up in their head, maybe analytical, left brain oriented, maybe A-type personality. There's not as much feeling or heart-centeredness as much. They are heart-centered, but if you were to compare it to someone that's only had Pleiadian lifetimes, it would be vastly different. There might be more structure. There might be more needing things to be a certain way. And very much up in the head a lot, over analyzing, over processing. But again, some souls have just had brief encounters as being an Arcturian, realize that's not their cup of tea, and then they come to Earth. So then it's going to be different. So it is really fascinating to see one's starseed origins. It's absolutely amazing. It's amazing to see and chat with the starseed family members that are here with us. It is just amazing. If you ever want to talk with the ETs, just simply ask, just talk with them. It's just that easy. It really is. You might notice that the energy in the room will change. You may notice that it is a vastly different energy around you. You might notice a lot of pressure and warmth around your head, and that will be an indicator that they are attempting telepathic communication with you. Okay? You might notice an aching or energy shift change up against the body as they enter the room. Usually they're going up here to the noggin for telepathic communication. So then it's our job to create a quiet mind and let them form thought forms in your mind. It might sound like your internal voice at first, but you aren't the one forming the words. What's most important before you call on any ET is that you ask Archangel Michael to come and move into your home to be your spiritual bouncer. That's number one. Number two is, making it known. I'm only open to communicating with ETs that Archangel Michael agrees can be coming into my proximity or entering my home, and that ETs that are okay by my team of angels and Archangel Michael. Okay? I'm here to have a friendly, open communication with you. And at any time, if you ever feel uncomfortable, you ask them to leave. They leave. Like that. There's no hanging around when you don't want them there. Okay, I hope this helps. And always remember, you've got the power. And you can take it back anytime you wish by lifting and raising your vibrational frequency and calling in what I call the big guns, the archangels, your angels. Call them in close, and then step forward and enjoy yourself and enjoy life. And don't think twice about anything other than that. Keep it high, keep it positive. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.